everyone, today I've got the Mandalorian Episode 7 Disney Plus review. So every week I get excited for a new episode to drop from this series. But is it looking to end on a high note? So as far as the story goes, Deborah Chow directs this episode that was released a couple days earlier, probably to give Star Wars fans a chance to see the rise of Skywalker on Friday, which is the day that these episodes tend to release online. It doesn't exactly bother me too much because, who wouldn't want to have it any other way? Because either way, you're going to see both things. It's just a matter of, if you wanted to see both on the same day, you still could do that if you're awake after watching Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which I will end up seeing on Friday, so don't worry, I will get a review out for that as well. Though I have heard mixed reviews on the new movie, I feel like who could possibly have any mixed reviews about this series? And this episode is called The Reckoning, which not only shows Mando and company scrambling to protect Baby Yoda, it brings back old as well as new characters. And some of them still want Baby Yoda, and no matter what kind of shenanigans he gets into, I always wondered if we were going to see how far they were planning on developing this character. And they do show that Baby Yoda is useful and still cute doing it. Literally every single time, and it is no surprise that every time he pops up on screen, or even the first time he pops up on screen every episode, I will start to squeal because he's just so cute. And that tends to leave me with more questions about what it means for the future of this series, if it's going to center around Baby Yoda instead of The Mandalorian. Like I think I mentioned this either in the last episode review or the review before that. But either way, it's still pretty interesting to see how the focus is still technically on Baby Yoda when you have this bad group of people who are trying to get him and get the Mandalorian because he took Baby Yoda. He would have gotten a reward for bringing this very valued item in, and now, we are slowly starting to see how valuable Baby Yoda is. Now, as far as the casting goes, I love Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian, but he seriously needs to watch his back. He not only needs to watch Baby Yoda, but he needs to seriously take care of himself. That's why he keeps his friends close and his enemies closer. That's why he knows, he can maybe trust some people who were probably going to shoot him left and right, but then maybe come to terms with, who they are and, what their real motives and endeavors are. Gina Carano, I loved her in the first episode that I saw her in, and I'm really glad that she's returning here and still being badass as ever. Carl Weathers is also really nice to see because I could have sworn that something had happened to his character, but apparently not, so it's pretty awesome to see, what kind of side is he truly on. And even Nick Nolte is also returning here. This is the way it's gotta be when you have these legendary actors coming back, because, I tend to think that they're also favorites to see among the cast members, and seeing, how helpful they can be, especially being a part of a supporting cast. And now as far as newcomers go, you got Giancarlo Esposito, who since the first trailer I was like, okay, I'd like to know how villainous is his character looking like. So I know he's definitely got an agenda, and it truly is a dark agenda, and you definitely see it in this episode, which came off really intensely. So I want to see more from him in at least the next episode, episode 8, and even seeing Werner Herzog back I thought was also really cool since the first episode. So I was like, you go from episode 1 and now this is episode 7, so it's been a long time coming, but it's still nice to see him as well. So the things that I liked about this episode was that it didn't exactly start out dark, and even though the music was starting to change from being this like uplifting, upbeat music, and then all of a sudden you know it's gonna get dark as soon as that music just gets really low and kind of spooky. But I knew as soon as the recap of the previous episodes rolled in, it was another Baby Yoda centric story, and it once again got me worried and excited about what was to come. But I laughed. I still enjoyed what I was seeing and how much Mando cared about protecting this child, and no one else was worthy of watching him, so he was trying to decide, okay, who is going to take care of him while we're away kicking butt. And it sort of reminded me of an old Star Wars episode, one of the old Star Wars movies, and, you know, who is going to take care of Luke Skywalker, so it's sort of in that same atmosphere. And the plot to foil any of the New Republic's plans was intense to watch. I mean, it was suspenseful, yet action-packed. I mean, the third act of the episode really had me pumped up, and I was engaged with everything that I saw up to the point when the credits rolled and I asked out loud, that was it? But when it ended on a cliffhanger, I was freaking out. I mean, this Christmas, I want to be able to see what episode 8 has to offer, because it's really cutting close to the end of season 1, and I just hope there's enough story that they can leave for series 2 when that comes out, and when they start making that. I definitely hope that going forward, it's still going to be a solid series more than what it is now. So overall, I would say that this episode was still pretty good. It was really amazing and exciting and even dark. So it's really taking a dark turn. I really hope it goes that route going forward. So I would highly recommend seeing this episode, the series in general, and I would give this 5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The Mandalorian episode 7, and as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates coming every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you guys later.